Welcome everybody. My name is Sakir Temel and today I will be talking about 3-point estimations. This will work. I'm CTO of Visuality almost for 3 years and I've run over 130 project estimations which are from different domains, sizes, countries and clients. It's a lightning talk and it's really hard to talk in 15 minutes, but if I overtalk you can say stop. Mr. CTO.
So our lightning talks are more like 5 minutes.
Really? Okay, so thank you for listening. So I never felt comfortable while I'm giving estimation when I was a developer, team leader, or CTO, and I assume that it's a common problem. And I've done some researches. I set a goal for myself 3 years ago to improve the estimation process. And we have done something, and I would like to share our know-how today. Today's objective is knowing how to apply 3-point estimation techniques in 10 steps with an example project. I know that you all worked all day. If you started at 8 a.m. or something, it's already 10 or 12 hours. That's why I will give the best value for your 15 minutes, so I will maximize the ROI. The presentation is done in a way that you can watch it later on and you can add something on the top of it after watching. So there are some estimation techniques which can be applied in different phases of the project. As you can see, the accuracy is increasing. We will only focus on 3-point estimations today, as is the title. And the techniques are good. Techniques are always good. Techniques will increase your, improve your organization entirely. So I would definitely recommend learning techniques more and more. And there are more techniques than the 4 of them shown. These are just general ones. So I created a project for today. It's Ruby User Group Stats. As you know, Ruby User Groups have YouTube channels. And this talk will be also published in there. The thing is, we were here including this one for last 4 of WRUGs. And we gathered feedback from the presenters that they would like to have more audiences. And I said, like, yeah, I think it's a good thing, but let's also measure if they would do some improvements, how they would be able to see the improvements and which Ruby user groups are improving themselves when it comes to the increasing the visitors. But anyway, too much talk about that. So this application will show the fall of the user groups, YouTube channel statistics, to evaluate the performance and also to see the effects of improvements lately done with metrics. So it has subscribers count, videos count, and the total views and the last video published data. So if I would ask you to estimate this one, because I think this is pretty much can come to our work every month, such a project, how much it would cost, how we would do it. So how I was doing it, it all started here. This is the question that I'm hearing. I think like 50 times every week. I would say that there would be channel CRUD, and there will be an API, and channel CRUD is half a day with tasks and tests and everything, and API will be half a day. And then my result will be, it can be done in a day, it's pretty easy. I think we have all done that. And my inner thought would be, yeah, I'm positive the person who asked for the estimation will be really happy. And my inner thought would say that, yeah, they will not judge me and they will not ask questions. So I gave some optimistic estimation to them, they should be happy. But it shouldn't be done in this way. This is why we are here. When the same question is asked, the professional approach would be first getting the user requirements. Yeah, I would say the project requester that your mockup is pretty helpful. Would you provide the user stories or would you like us to provide it? And let's say we are providing the user stories. And the user stories are, as a guest, I can access to the application. As a guest, I can add a YouTube channel link to track and see in the list. As a guest, I can see the stats of each channel from YouTube data. So these tasks, these stories should be helpful for us to complete this project. Okay, after having initial requirements here, let's do different way than guessing. Let's do some estimation. First of all, I would put all these user stories in a spreadsheet like that, and I would also number that. It's because of work breakdown structure. Then I would start creating subtasks. Subtasks are workable items. So in order to complete the first story, I need to first bootstrap my application. So I need to set up GitHub and everything, and I need to configure the domain. Here is important, you are also writing assumptions and comments. So you're saying that I would inherit current best practices from Platform. Platform is our internal project. We are using databases, and it acts as common know-how store because we are putting our best practices also in the code base. So I would create the subtasks. And then I would complete creating subtasks, as you can see here. And here also you can see for sorting I added one more comment. Now it's important step. I like this part more, most because I feel like I know what I'm doing now. That I put all my subtasks, so it's something that I can understand as a developer. So I would review my subtasks. I would simulate in my mind that if I would be the one who is doing this application, I would first bootstrap and configure the domain. I would follow the other operations, and then I would test for that, and I would do this, and then I would say that, yeah, the project would be complete. And here you need to ask a question to yourself, are all tasks in here? Are there any other tasks that you're thinking, but it wasn't included in here? This is 100% rule from work breakdown structure. If you have such tasks, just create more tasks and under that create subtasks. So yeah, I simulated, everything is well, no more tasks needs to be added. It acts as an implementation plan for me. Now it's time to estimate. So today's talk was about 3-point estimation. Let's talk about what was these 3 points. Normally what you would do, yeah, bootstrap, like, creating GitHub, Heroku and Rails would take like X hours. But instead of saying just X hours 1 point, I'm telling now 3 points. The best case, how much it would cost, optimistically. Worst case, how much it would cost, pessimistically. And the most likely, realistically, how much it would cost. So I'm saying like, okay, bootstrapping a project, I've done many times, it would take 2 hours, that's it. Optimistically, and everything would go smoothly. But there is another thing, pessimistic thinking. What happens in platform when I'm inheriting the standards, there are some jam problems that I'm not aware because I haven't inherited the process know-how for a long time. Or maybe there are new standards, which can be also problematic. So I say like, the things can go wrong and let's do it like 6 hours. And then I would have a total different mindset that, okay, I was optimistic and I was pessimistic and now let's be realistic. I was too optimistic when I was saying 2 hours. So most likely it is going to take like around 3 hours. So I applied my estimation here. And then what I would do, I would apply estimation for all of them. I'm not going to focus each of them, but those values are arbitrary though, but still I try to make it in a way that would indicate some things. So let's focus on this third user story and the first subtask of this user story. Implement data fetcher from YouTube. I've never done that. Like, I seriously never done that. Like, I've done it like last week. And the assumptions and comments in that, we know nothing about it. Configuring API, limits of this API, abilities of this API, I'm going to use a gem or not. We'll probably use HTTP party because I don't really feel that there is a gem for that, etc. Okay, so I put all my, I expressed all my feelings there. And I would say optimistically, come on, it's Google and I've done many API integration, it should take 2 hours, come on. But the worst case, what happens, the API is not providing the things that we want, and we need to maybe do some scraping even. We need to maybe rewrite a couple of times. It can even take 3 days. Think about it, it can really even take 3 days. So I put like 24 hours for that, because this is the worst case scenario. This is what 3-point estimation is asking us for. And then I would think again realistically, okay, 2 hours was too optimistic. Definitely there will be some problems. The client wouldn't provide the API. Maybe they wouldn't add the proper the proper permissions. Definitely there will be problem. So I'm saying like realistically it would be 8 hours. So this is interesting, as you can see why the best case, worst case, most likely is really helpful for us. We'll not do math much, but let's begin with the formulas. So 3-point estimation techniques tell us that you should use these two formulas. The first one is weighted average, and the second one is standard error. Standard error is for indicating variability or uncertainty. Don't ask why the numbers are like that. We can talk about it later on. But the first one is weighted average. So I just wrote an Excel formula. And if you calculate, it is different than just normal average. So this is the weighted average. So I calculated weighted averages and SE standard errors for each task. There is also SE square, which is variance. We're not going to talk about it now, but it's going to be useful for our calculation later on. Then I would apply the formula to all. Simply, we can analyze that. You can review that a little bit. Actually, we have a little bit of time. Okay, after we are clear, we have weighted average per task and variance and the standard error for each task. Let's go to the project estimations, because so far we have only done the task estimations. Obviously, as you can think, the project estimation is just sum of all these estimated averages, which is set by the 3-point estimation technique again. It's just sum of all of this. But the standard error for the project is actually sum of all square root of sum of all variances. So I just applied the formula, which showed me that E-project, so the weighted average for the project is 27 hours, and SE project is 4 hours. So this is my uncertainty. Okay, so after doing that, let's apply the last thing, which is set by, because it's step 10, as I promised. Let's apply the last thing that 3-point estimations are saying to us. For IT projects, they are suggesting, and I also really like, 95% confidence interval for project work time. So this is the formula. And when you apply it, so you have 27 hours as weighted average, and you have 8 hours for 2 SE, which is giving you eventually 18 to 35 hours. With a 17 hours difference, this project would be done minimum 18 hours, maximum 35 hours. This is what the formula is telling us. Okay, so this is the project work time that we had. Okay, I told that there would be 10 steps, but there are 2 more bonus steps. So yeah, like as you can see, the 3-point estimation gave us better accuracy and created some awareness and gave range estimation. But not only. Using a technique, any type of it, gives you much more things. So you remember we were talking about uncertainty? Let's indicate what is uncertain for me, because I would like to reduce this uncertainty, which is 17 hours, because the requester might ask to me that, why 17 hours difference? What is wrong? And then I just wrote, conditional formatting and found the SEs, which is over 1. So the sorting, in the very beginning, I was thinking that basic sorting on one field, but they may also want some complex sorting, which is in the mockup. So they have multiple sortings, but I was assuming that that is not the intention. And another thing is the implement data fetcher from YouTube. So it was really uncertain for us. Okay, so what we are doing for these two? So we need to work with them. Simply, we are going and asking some questions to people. So for this last one, so the data fetcher from YouTube, I would just go to Slack and ask to the guys that, any of you, girls, any of you worked with YouTube Data API before? And then I would just match and talk, and then my doubts would be gone, or I would have more doubts. And as for the sorting, the requirement is not clear. It's not my problem. I'm just estimating it, and it is how it is. Then I would ask the product owner that, how do you want the sorting? Okay, let's say we ask to the colleague, and we ask to the requester of the project, and we got the answers. We found the right people. So the client or the product owner said that, I don't want sorting. It was just the problem of the mockup, and it is the case usually. And then I said, okay, it's solved, 0, 0, 0. And as for the YouTube, again, I talked, my biggest problems are gone, but still I'm not that much certain about it. That's why I changed the estimations to 8 and 6 in here, which affected the SE project, E, and difference in here, which is 7 hours. If you remember in the beginning, the difference was from minimum to maximum was 17 hours, and it's now 7 hours. That's all good. It's 15 minutes already, but like, I'm finishing. So this is the how the estimations really work. Let's get this number and get back to the slide. Okay, let's give our estimations. We did the math. Our numbers taken from Excel were 20.67 plus minus 3.65 hours. Techniques are there to help you making decisions, not to make decisions. Don't forget about it. So you are the one who is going to be accountable for the estimation. So let's interpret that for the decision maker or reviewer. Let's not give only the numbers. And now let's not only give the numbers, but the value that you can give easily. Because now you know everything about the project. You have a document that you can go and check. And if someone asks a question, you can say that I'm based on that. So in the very beginning, if you remember, we were saying that we will do it in one day and everything will be great, right? And now we are saying that the project cost estimate range is 20 plus minus 4 hours and much more information. So which one you would trust? The first one, because they are promising. And this is how it's happening, actually.
It's a cheaper one, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But now I can actually tell why I'm expensive, because the first one is fairly good estimation. I put the links for worth checking. They're quite important. The last one tells everything about the estimation. It's from Helsinki University. The third one is quite cool also to go through this thing. Like whenever we are onboarding a new person, I'm sending those two links first for him or her to get used to. Thank you very much. If you like this presentation, just feedback to me so I can do like a longer talk. And follow me on Twitter, ask some questions. As I told, I like to talk. So thank you. I put some key takeaways that you can read. Questions now. No questions. Thank you once again.